If you are familiar with the Flat Earth versus Globe Earth conversation online, you've probably seen the Lake Pontchartrain Causeway Bridge, haven't you? Or the power lines. Globe Earthers will tell you this is a fine example of the visible curve, the curve that every Flat Earther is asking so desperately for all day long. But as a response, Flat Earthers tend to share similar observations where the haze is cutting off the important part, arguing it's flat. Then the conversation takes a curve towards refraction. But I advise Flat Earthers to tread carefully since, to explain most observations, Flat Earthers need about 5 times more refraction than we do, and they need it upwards against the atmospheric density gradient. Anyways.
Maybe they present you a different perspective, showing an aerial view of the bridge, asking where the curve went. Then you simply show them that this view demonstrates the exact same amount of curve.
The conversation might take another mean turn towards the salt flats, where a perfect reflection can only mean a flat surface.
Correct. And a curved surface, like this car window over here, will give you compressed reflection.
That's probably why, upon closer inspection, there isn't a perfect reflection. Also, the mountains in the back are completely obscured by the flats. Oh, and this. When you are not yet blocked by now, you might see this meme being inserted in the conversation, suggesting that perspective somehow can make some Lego towers and even a toy car partially disappear behind a horizon that is in the middle of the table. And that got me thinking. The image is a frame from a collaboration between Karen B and Decimal Z, or Dr. Zach. Karen B's video went private, but Zach's is still up. Let's ignore the trick they played by placing the Lego towers not in a straight line to force the curve. Let's talk about the table. You see, from this perspective here, we see the table is made out of 3 different segments. The reflections really help to see the sharp separation lines. And as we learned from Flat Earthers, a flat surface will give a perfect reflection. But we notice that the railing here is only reflected in the 3rd panel, while the middle and front panel reflect the wall above the railing. It's only when the camera lowers position that, all of a sudden, the middle panel starts reflecting the railing. And a couple of frames later, when the camera is almost at the level of the table, the 1st panel starts reflecting it. This hints that these 3 panels are not being aligned properly. It's almost as if the weight of the very heavy wood caused these side panels to hang down a bit compared to the middle section.
Gravity, you
It would definitely explain the reflection issue. The video suggests there is a new horizon, and in fact I agree, created by the ridge between panel 1 and panel 2. The result of this hanging down is that we expect all the towers on one panel to follow the simple rules of perspective, having a vanishing point, but that every panel has its own vanishing point location. And that seems to be the case. These towers do what they need to do. These are in the middle section, nice and fine, and these are on the last one. But the thing that stood out the most to me was the car. They really shouldn't have used the car. You can almost hear the wheels drive over these ridges when going from one panel to the other.
You should be honest with yourself and investigate more before you bring up such an argument. If those power lines prove that the Earth is round, then these Lego towers prove that the table is round too, right?
So, when you need a curved table to explain how a series of towers can appear as if the Earth is a globe, you might have shot yourself in the foot. And with that, let's leave the Flat Earthers for now. Take care, my fellow apes. Bye bye. Oh, and also, Karen didn't respond to my email, just so you know.